All right, so I'm here with Erin, and we're going to be talking about how she got into competition and life on the NASKA circuit, especially being an adult in college. So I guess our my first question for you is how did you get into like competing?
hmm Well, I had my first instructor from when I had first started competing. She used to compete on NASKA probably 10 or 15 years ago now. And I would always hear her talk about it. And I heard her, like, one thing that stood out to me was she would always talk about being on stage at the US Open. Back when they would do, like, the underbelt grands and stuff. She was able, like, she won the runoff on stage maybe 15 or 20 years ago, and I'd always hear her talk about how she wanted, like, how she was on stage, and that was always something that I aspired to do, and I still haven't done yet. Um, but the U.S. Open was like my goal tournament before I knew about any other tournaments. Like that was the tournament that I wanted to go to, and then once I went there and I started learning more about NASCA, I was like, oh wow, like this is really what I want to do. Like these people are the best, so I want to push myself to be the best.
Awesome. Uh, the U.S. Open, that's a pretty hefty goal. That's the the biggest best of the best right there.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
it's that's just amazing. I never would have thought that I could have made it to that type of stage, but it's amazing that you saw the goal and you strived for it and went for it.
Yeah. I still have, I think last year was my closest placing. So obviously my end goal is to win an ISKA or women's overall title. Last year was the closest I came because I believe I got silver and bronze in two of my divisions, which obviously didn't like make the cut for stage, but I was hopeful.
Yeah, congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So you kind of got into competing with the NASKA circuit, and I always love to ask, what's it like traveling all over, the United States and even to other countries to compete at like such a high level and to, not stay in a localized little area where you can drive. Like you're flying constantly to different places.
Honestly, it's a dream come true. I mean, it's what, from as soon as I learned about NASCA and what it was about, like, this is what I wanted to do. I used to watch tournament live, or before it was live streams, recorded videos on sport martial arts and tournament news online back when that was still around. And I'd look and be like, this is what I want to do with my life. And so when it started coming true piece by piece and like things started falling into place, it was the most amazing feeling to see like my hard work pay off and, things that isn't normal for, a high school or college student to do. But I feel like I just wanted something a little different, and I always had different goals. And it's a lot of work keeping up with school and with competing and traveling training as well. But there's a lot of people in the sport, Sammy Smith, Morgan Plowden, Avery Plowden, who have like shown by their example that it can be done. So I've just been like doing my best, and it's worked out so far pretty well.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at the hard work and the dedication that you guys go through to compete at that level, and even the dedication it takes to doing all that traveling. Um, what's your workout schedule like? Like, I,
So I train 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. I usually take Sundays off, although I think I'm going to train today because I'm not really happy with how I did it AKAs last week. So I think I'm going to fit in an extra workout. But I try and my school schedule right now is just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I take 5 classes, but I just have them scheduled on those days. And so I'll work out in between my classes and fit in like an hour here, an hour there, and then go to the karate school after that. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually pretty easy. I can just get it done whenever. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have to kind of work and like get creative with where I'm gonna work out. And thankfully, my school is really open and flexible about it, and they don't mind me like bringing both staffs to practice in the gym and stuff like that. So, in a lot of ways, like it's really worked out well. But it just takes some creativity and discipline.
that's really awesome that your school would be understanding enough to let you
Yeah.
do something like that.
I've been so blessed. Assumption has been amazing, just through the whole application process, and where I had issues with other schools, like I would start explaining that I wanted to keep competing through college, and they'd look at me like I was crazy and be like, "Oh, you can't, you could probably never do that." But when I went to Assumption, they were like, "Yeah, I think that's something, I don't see why you couldn't do that." And it was a completely different attitude, and like I know all schools aren't that way, so I'm so thankful that it worked out.
Yeah, it that and that's amazing. That's a huge time commitment to be able to say that you're going to be doing college and also competing at the same time and doing all that. Like I know the workload for me just for college and not competing on NASKA, and
Yeah.
that was crazy. um, so and that's awesome
Yeah.
that a school would understand and work with you on that. And I think it's a great thing for the sport because it continues to show like how the rest of the world is starting to view it and see it in terms of like I remember being younger and like 18 would be like the drop off, like
Mhm.
you'd see like 18, 19, and everybody suddenly kind of drops off, and there's still a big drop off there with college and everything, but
For
I think
sure,
that
yeah.
the adult like competition and division has actually like grown since even from like 10 years ago.
hmm Yeah, this year especially, I moved up to the adult division and black belt division well, when I turned 18, so 2017, so 2 years ago now. And like when I started, it was around, I'd say maybe eight or so people in general. And then last year was a little smaller. And then this year, probably four or five girls moved up from 16, 17 who had all been at the top of that division. And so far, like AKA's was great because it was really like a stacked, challenging division. Mary Amato, Trinity Davis, Julia Plucker all moved up, and all of them are crazy talented. And so throw that like along with Sammy Smith, Mackenzie Emery, Melissa Byler-Jean, like that's a stacked division. So I'm really lucky that I get to compete against like truly some of the best women in the sport.
Yeah, that that they it takes me back to I only competed at a more local level, but
Hmm.
I would always tell people like I would be way more happy taking a lower place against great competition than like
Right.
taking first place and there being nobody there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just a completely different feeling. Like something that you don't necessarily see in other sports. And one thing that I definitely want to bring up is myself, along with a lot of other people, love the sportsmanship that comes with
Hmm.
martial arts. And you go to a NASKA tournament, and it's such a different feel because you can see people turning the performance on and off, and like building up
Hmm.
that energy. But it's never vindictive or against somebody else. Everybody cheers for everybody. Everybody's excited for everybody. Um, I remember my dad was never into martial arts. He was more of a traditional sports person, and going to martial arts tournaments. I
Hmm.
remember him like saying to me like, "This is amazing because like you don't see that type of spirit and sportsmanship.
Yeah,
It doesn't happen in
absolutely.
any other sport."
No, absolutely. And I think that's one thing about martial arts is it's so much bigger than just a sport. Like it's honestly a community and it's more than that. Like it's a family. And I don't know if you saw at AKA Grand Nationals, Cameron Dawson fought that weekend for the first time since his dad had passed away. And I think like it was obviously a really hard and sad weekend for everyone to see, but it really showed that like our sport is a family and we're all there for each other regardless of the teams that are on our backs, like who we're sponsored by, whatever, like where we place, it doesn't matter. Everyone was all there for each other and all there for him and supporting him that weekend, and it was really good to see.
Yeah. So do you have any? I know we talked a little bit, and you kind of mentioned an ISKA championship. Do you have any specific goals in mind? You don't have to like go crazy and say like just in terms of like sometimes a goal even for yourself might
Hmm.
be like a specific trick or something that you're working on or you saw somebody do.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few like tricks and things that I want to work on, but a couple of my major goals for this year are to make the Waco USA national team and then to travel the World Championships and hopefully win a gold medal in Turkey in November. So that's been I've wanted to do Waco for a couple years, and then this year when it became an IOC approved circuit, so now it's connected to the Olympic Commission, and so that was just one more reason that like I wanted to do it and try something bigger and try something different. So I'd say that's probably my major goal for this year is really focusing on that. Along with I'm still going to be competing on NASKA, doing WKC this year as well, hoping for more medals there. Um, and just keep improving in all of my events besides that.
That's fantastic. I love even just saying like improving in your events. Like it's more than just wins and stuff. It's like you want to improve. You want to go to these other like specific tournaments that you've had
Hmm.
your eye on, and that's just absolutely great.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
so we can't wait to see more of you. Hopefully we can figure something out, get together in person, and
Absolutely.
get some videos and stuff, and
Yeah, thank you
just
so much for your time. I appreciate it.
have no. But thank you for your time. Putting everything together, and like you said, you're busy doing multiple hours of training a day and school full time. So thank you for taking time
Oh, no
to talk
problem.
to.
Anytime.
Thank you. I always want to make sure that we give the love to everybody that's supporting here. So if there's anything that you want to plug before we're done, if you want to like plug your social media and stuff that people follow you.
Yeah, my Instagram is probably what I use the most. It's at ERIIIN Smith because there's a million Aarons and a million Smiths out there, so I had to be different. And
I hear
that's
you.
that's probably what I'm on the most. I don't really use like Twitter or anything else like that.
Awesome.
Facebook, but that's just my name. If you can find me among all the other Aaron Smiths of the world.
Yeah, that's like so for anybody interested, I do have it spelled below and posted below. So if you guys just even want to just click the link and get taken right to it, it is below for you guys to click on. Or if you want to search for it, the exact spelling is right there below for you guys. So you guys can check Erin out and follow her all through the year. Like I know that I will. I love watching. Martial arts. I love watching people improve. It's a huge part. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.